is America. In February of 1939, 20,000 fascists assembled in the heart of New York City at Madison Square Garden. The event was billed as a pro-American rally, organized by the German-American Bund, hoping to spread Nazi ideals in the United States.
In 2016, I declared, I am your voice. Today I add, I am your warrior, I am your justice. And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution.
When we take power, they need to be given the death penalty. And these people that are suppressing the name Christ and suppressing Christianity, they must be absolutely annihilated when we take power.
We have seen fascism in the United States. We saw it between 1830 and 1860 in the southern states, where a group of oligarchs took over the South. Even if you were white, if you opposed those oligarchs, you could get lynched, and many were. White people as well as obviously black people. You could get, tortured. The elections were rigged. Political violence was a feature, not a bug of Confederate politics. And just like the old Confederacy, if these neo-fascists take over, they will, they'll do it first on a state-by-state basis. It's already starting to happen. You look at DeSantis in Florida and Abbott in Texas. So then, you're basically reinventing the Confederacy, and then they will reach out to take over the government of the United States.
The two leading members of the Frankfurt School, Theodor Adorno and Max Horkheimer, try to show that the many-footed beast that Oswald Spengler had feared in the run-up to Hitler was an immediate peril in America. In the shift of Marxism away from economics and into culture, they drew on the authority of the then little known writings of the early Marx, who wrote about alienation. Relying on a melody of Freud and early Marx, the Frankfurt School explained that private life had ceased to be private, since it had been colonized by the forces of industrialized leisure, movies, radio, TV, and comic books. These, they argued, were the equivalent of the Roman bread and circuses, used to contain the plebeians as the empire descended into decadence. With their formidable dialectical skills, they had the intellectual dexterity to argue past the lack of evidence and insist there was an imminent danger. In the very country that had given them refuge from Nazism, they argued that fascism, quote, would sooner or later prove inevitable in America. Since the underlying reality of American life with its hectoring fathers, they argued, was intrinsically fascist, there was, and this goes back to Huxley, there was no need for an overt movement of the sort represented by the Nazis to bring fascism to America. It would ooze up from the bottom.
Christian Visibility Day.
Trump has repeatedly compared his criminal trials to the crucifixion of Jesus, promoted videos calling his re-election, quote, the most important moment in human history, and that describe him as a divinely appointed ruler.
Only two other men in the history of this republic, General Washington in the Revolution and the Foundation, and Abraham Lincoln in the Civil War, have the personal fate and destiny of an individual be inextricably linked to the fate and destiny of this republic. Donald John Trump is the third person.
All the folk who follow Trump are not neo-fascists, but they're conservative, and they're based, and it's motivated by one fundamental fact. They have a profound hatred of the professional managerial class that they see as the winners of corporate globalization, and they associate that with black people, with Jews, with gay brothers, lesbian sisters, trans, and used to be Catholics, but I ran into David Duke down there, and he's now head of one of the Klan groups. That's American, upward mobility American style. They have a Catholic now running the Klan, when the Klan began by hating Catholics, Jews, and black folk. And we're going to see more of that as well. You're going to see more Jewish folks supporting the neo-fascists. You're going to see more black folks supporting the neo-fascists. That's where we are now.
We must make America pray again.
It is not Joe Biden that rules this country. Jesus Christ is the king of everything in this world. Christ is king! Christ is king!
Fascists rise to power by characterizing their opponents as subhuman. Christo-fascists take it a step further by casting opponents as not just subhuman, but actually demonic.
Now, exit polls from the first round of France's parliamentary elections suggest the far right have made historic gains. Turnout was the highest for 40 years.
One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Americans, American patriots, I'm sure I do not come before you tonight as a complete stranger. You all have heard of me through the Jewish-controlled press as a creature with horns, a cloven hoof, and a long tail.
A few days ago, I called the fake news the enemy of the people, and they are. They are the enemy of the people.
We, with American ideals, demand that our government shall be returned to the American people who founded it.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.